Alright guys, so our lure review this week is going to be on the Storm Twitch Stick. The Twitch Stick is a relatively new suspending rip bait from Storm. Storm is a subsidiary of Rattle, if you didn't already know that. So when you look at these baits, they have some similarities to a Rattle lure. They look very reminiscent of one. So again, it's fairly new. Had a chance to go out and fish with it, so let's check it out. Alright guys, so the Storm Twitch Stick, it comes in two different sizes. The first size, being the smaller size, is a TWS 08, and it has a length of 3 1/4 inches. It has a weight of 5/16 of an ounce. It has a diving depth of 2 to 4 feet, and it is a suspending lure. The next one, which is what these ones are, is the TWS 10, and it has a length of 4 inches, a weight of 5/8 of an ounce, and a diving depth of 3 to 5 feet, and it is a suspending lure. So it dives just a little bit deeper than the other one does. Go ahead and show you my measurement here. With both of the rings, it's about 4 1/8 inches, 4 1/16 of an inch. Without the rings, it is about 3 7/8 of an inch, and then with the bill on it, it is about 4 1/4 inches. So it's right there with that Pointer 100, which is when I looked at this lure on the internet, I thought it reminded me a lot of the Pointer 100 as far as the profile is concerned, because it looks kind of like that shad slash minnow. Generally, people are more accustomed to fishing jerkbaits in that minnow profile, and the Pointer and the Twitch Stick as well, they both have that shad. They're not so much of a shad or a minnow as they are kind of a hybrid of both of them, right there in between. If you guys haven't noticed already, Storm and Rapala, they name their lures just like most lure companies by the length that they are, but the difference is the Rapala and Storm both name their lures in centimeters instead of millimeters. So like the Pointer 100 is 100 millimeters, the Storm Twitch Stick is 10 centimeters, but still 100 millimeters as well. You can see this one says Storm Twitch Stick on it. While we're down here, you can see the scale pattern, very aggressive. And then also you have the three-dimensional holographic eyes. This particular one has a silver sclera on it, or the one with the gold head over here has a gold sclera on it. This one's Blueback Herring. So they also come with the Vmc Hooks. And I don't know about you guys, but I actually really like the Vmc Hooks. Rapala and Storm, they don't seem to gouge you on the price of the lures, knowing that they still include what I would call premium hooks. This is a $5 lure, you guys, and it seems to have this does have better hooks than some of the lures that I've purchased for $12, $13, $14. So I really like that about the Storm and the Rapala lures. So I had a chance to go out and fish it. While I'm here, I wanted to mention that this has a round split ring instead of an oval split ring. Not a big deal, but most of us like that oval split ring for ease of tying. But I did have a chance to go out and fish it this week, and I have a couple things to bring up about the lure. I felt like the lure actually has some good pros to it, good performance points, but there are some things that I feel for it to perform like a Pointer 100 or some of the other better rip baits that I have, there are some things that need to be addressed. It doesn't float or suspend in that nose down position. For whatever reason, we want that lure to float, or not float, but suspend in that nose down position. Fish just seem to like it better. I don't know why. If you guys have any idea why, you can go ahead and comment below. But we want it to suspend in that nose down position. This one suspends almost perfectly parallel to the water. So nothing that can't be addressed with a bigger hook on the front, or a couple split rings or something like that. It's not something that can't be fixed. We can definitely fix it. So not a big deal, but you know, $5 lure, what can you expect? So the other thing is that it floats. Like I kept kind of throwing that out there a couple seconds ago, that this lure actually does float. They call it a suspending lure, but it's a pretty quick float for a suspending lure. It's a slow float for a floating lure, but it's a pretty quick float for a suspending lure. If you guys catch my drift and see what I'm saying there, that if it was a floating lure, then it would be a slow floating lure. But the fact that it is a suspending lure, it floats pretty quick to the surface. So, and again, that's something that can be addressed while you're addressing that nose down position in the water with another split ring or a couple split rings or a bigger hook on the front. So again, it's not that big of a deal. And plus, some people want their lures to float. I know for me, when I'm fishing jerkbaits, I want them to fit. I want them to be dead still. So, but I guess that floating will help you get out of some trouble if you get into some rocks and you need it to float out or something. I don't know, but I know for me, rip baits, they need to suspend. So again, not that big of a deal, but it does cast very, very well. It doesn't have a weight transfer system in it, but it does seem to be that most of the weight is in the back of the lure. So it really helps that inertia or the centrifugal force of getting that lure out there with that tail leading the way. So it doesn't helicopter really at all. So as far as the casting is concerned, though, it really does cast very, very well. I was very happy about that. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you about this lure. This is the Rainbow Smelt. It's got a green back on it and a holographic finish on the side and kind of just a flat satin finish on the bottom. So kind of like that holographic finish on it, though. You can see the color shifting, the rainbow effect inside of it there. So kind of focus on this a little bit. This is a Rainbow Smelt. All right, and you know, I didn't really get to talk about the action of the lure. The action of the lure, or the lure actually has some pretty good action to it. It darts very, very well, very erratic. I wouldn't do long pulls or rips with this bait because it doesn't really wobble as well as some of the other ones that you might be able to find out there. So I would definitely stick to more of the jerk bait fashion, if you will, where you're just kind of doing just twitches and letting it kind of just erratically move all over the place, because it does have some good action to it in that respect. While I'm here, I wanted to talk about the rattle. It does have a deep sounding rattle to it. You can hear it up against a pointer, which has kind of a higher pitch sound to it. So just kind of throwing that out there for you guys. And some of you guys might want to see it up against a Rapala X-Wrap. This is that 10 size as well. So you can see the X-Wrap. It does have a little bit of that shad profile to it, but it's more of that minnow when you compare it up against the shad or the Storm Twitch Stick. So the next color I wanted to show you is called Blueback Herring. Blueback Herring just has this this kind of a purplish back to it and an overall silver body. You can see that it has that shad dot and a gold head and a painted on fin on there as well. While we're here, you know, I wanted to talk about the bill as well. The bill is fairly thick, which is a good thing for making sure that the lure is going to last, because as it isn't as thick as a Pointer 100, but it is thicker than like the X-Wrap. So it's going to be a little bit more durable, in my opinion. I mean, I haven't ran it up against a bunch of stuff, but if you happen to run it up against some brush or some rocks or something like that, it's probably going to hold up a little bit better than some of the other lures that are out there. So it gives you a little bit more insurance that the lure isn't going to break on you. And I've had these bills on some of my other lures break, and that's, I mean, it really is a pain when that happens, because I've told you guys before, I hate buying lures twice. So Storm Twitch Stick, $5, Blueback Herring right here. So focus on that. That is Blueback Herring. All right, guys. So you know, $5, you really can't beat it. Comes with some premium hooks, in my opinion, and you know, $5. I mean, you can spend $2 on some owner stingers if you wanted to replace the replace the front hooks or $3 on some owner stingers or something like that, and you can get that suspending and the nose down position ironed out if you were so inclined to want to make it do a little bit better. But you know, to be honest with you, for $5, I'm sure it's going to catch fish right out of the box. So you may not even have to do anything to it, but I'm just kind of throwing those suggestions out there for you guys that might want to make the lure perform a little bit better and get into that the upper stratosphere, some of the better performing rip baits that are out there. So just my 2 cents. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, please. I really appreciate that. And if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. I usually get to the comments and questions about once a week, so just leave them below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks a lot, guys.